going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Comics. We are episode 54, unlike Studio 54, but you know, we kind of get there sometimes with Ash's comments, Studio 54 status. I am your host today, Esteban.
That's the fastest I've been shit on the show? Is that the fastest?
I think so. That's the record. That's the record.
The record time.
Record-breaking time. Andres is actually off today. And the reason why he's off today, it's his bachelor party today. So he's partying it up right now. So I want everybody to go ahead and let us know in the comments to go ahead and congratulate Andres on his upcoming nuptials. He is probably about 6 whiskeys in right now.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to Andres.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. So moving on, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and introduce everybody.
Hello, guys. This is Luis.
And I'm Carmen.
I'm Ash.
All right. Sweet. Very, very cool.
And we are Wild Stallion. No, I was kidding.
You had to do it.
I know.
Hey, can I make a quick interruption?
Sure.
While you're laughing. Voltron. Who would be who?
I feel Andres would be the Black Lion.
Okay.
Luis.
Keith?
I don't know them by name. I don't remember them by name.
Keith Alvarez?
I was more Thundercats and Transformers. So
I was Power Rangers.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Anyway,
it was a generational thing, though.
It was. It really was a generation.
More silver just came in. Go on.
That's why he keeps shaving, so he doesn't see him anymore. Huh?
I always identified myself as the nerd Billy, but then I realized I wasn't smart, so I was like, probably not Billy.
More of a
Vulcan
type of guy.
I mean, maybe Adam, the one that kind of wanted to fit in, the frog.
Oh, okay.
In the movies.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Adam's fucking cool. I love that guy.
All right, very, very cool. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to Carmen. Carmen is actually our recommended drink of the week. Carmen, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking this Imperial Stout from the brewery, and it is called Sticky Bun. And so the notes of it are maple syrup, cinnamon, and it tastes just like a sticky bun would. It's from the brewery. That's literally what the place is called. It is in Orange County, but I know they sell the beer in a lot of places, so it's available everywhere. And I fully 100% recommend it. It's really good.
It's 10%.
Oh.
Yeah. 10.2%. Holy fuck, dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So this is what it looks like. It's a little bit dark, but most Imperial Stouts are, which I thoroughly enjoy them. This is one of the lower percentages actually that I've had. Most of them are like about 14-16%. I know that we've talked about Bottle Logic, which we will definitely have to go try. But yeah, so it's really good. And I know it probably the high percentage sounds like it's going to be not tasty at all, but it's like you're drinking a dessert. It's not the taste of what you would get from a bad cocktail or whatever. So cheers to everyone.
Cheers. Sticky Bun. I think that was my nickname in college. Anyways, moving on. Luis, let's see. I know you missed.
There's only one sticky bun.
His buns.
The other bun.
Don't worry about it. I'm the one that had the nickname, not you.
Harry Bun? Harry Belafonte? I'm sorry, Luis.
No. Buns with a Z. No.
No,
you eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No.
Luis, I know you missed a couple episodes back. Let's see.
One episode.
Wow, my bad. Why are you yelling at me?
No, you're like, I know you haven't really been part of the group for a while. Like, motherfucker, it was just one episode. We've all evolved as a group. You may feel like an outcast at this point. You may feel like this is no longer your family, which is partially true. But we welcome you with open arms. Yes, what episode?
To Luis's last day. Ooh.
What?
Fucking A. I don't. I'm going for the throat.
I know you were. Again,
he was going for the throat. All right,
I know. I heard him. You were out last episode, and your recommendation was from Ash to go ahead and watch Reservoir Dogs. How was it?
It's funny. I was speechless while I was watching it because it was one of those films that, as I was watching it, my first instinct, which I did jokingly message it to the group, of why didn't anybody tell me this movie was so good? But literally everyone has told me how good this movie is, and I just never jumped on board because I'm like, that's cool. It's cool that it's a cool movie. I'm gonna go watch Batman and Robin, or whatever the hell I was watching when I was a kid. But like that movie aged very well because it's all very practical effects. It's all on the storytelling. And I think we've compared Quentin Tarantino's dialogue to Kevin Smith before, of just it's in the conversations of the characters that genuinely make up this story. Ultimately, I thought it was an amazing film, and I feel ridiculous for taking so long to have decided to throw it on, but I'm happy that Ash gave me the recommendation. Now, if you were to ask me again who you would want to be, like, pick a person, Mr. Pink.
Right. Steve Buscemi, huh?
Yeah, dude, Buscemi was the shit. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Shit.
Dude, like, he's like, feels like a pussy. Like, you know, he's interrupting the whole meeting to talk about how he doesn't want to be Mr. Pink. Oh my god, it's so great. But yeah, so
that motherfucker was only out for himself and hiding cowardly. And
I didn't see it cowardly. For himself for sure, but he was the most rational thinker of them. Like, he was the one that's like, this is what I'm fucking telling you. And it's like, he uncovered it from the get-go. Yeah. And then as more of the story unfolds, he only saw the portion he saw, but he was the one that was like kind of being the rational one. He's like, I'm a fucking professional. What are you doing? You're acting like a crazy person. Like, even though he was very all over the place, it was coming from a controlled state of mind. And I don't know, from the very beginning, just the fact that he's like, they got to us in 3 minutes. It should have taken them 5. What the fuck? We got set up. And even a part like 1/3 into the film, you're thinking, oh yeah, Steve Buscemi's fucking crazy. And then you find out that it's legit. And then you find out that it's what is it? Roth? What's his name?
Tim Roth.
That he is like, oh my god, like all of that. And that's like, as it starts to unfold.
He was Mr. Orange, wasn't he?
Yes, Orange.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god. But you know, I genuinely liked it. I did like Mr. Pink because I felt that I think I related to his character. Like, he would be the one that I would probably be in that situation.
Got it.
Or I mean, I would like to. I'm not that fucking smart, but I would like to believe that would be my character. That I saw the shit happening and I'm trying to like get out of this and keep emotions out of it.
That gets his ear cut off.
That shit was dope.
I don't know if it was dope, but I mean, it's funny too because I edited Ash's live boxing video, and so like as it was getting there, I was like, oh, I know what's about to happen. Like, but it was like
that reference.
But putting it into context was a lot more interesting. I just
if it just cuts into the unboxing,
like if it was a VHS tape that got recorded over, and it's like Ash to the unboxing video. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we do an unboxing video on our YouTube, and it is quite lovely. You should log on and check it out.
I think you're the best at that. The best at like, Carmen's awesome at like bringing the conversation in, but you're awesome too at like the seeds of coming back to. Speaking of Mr. Blonde, my girlfriend's blonde, which leads to we went to Universal, which leads to like it's like a big
a segue.
Where Carmen's like, come on, motherfuckers! Like we come back.
Turn the fucking
Those,
wheel.
those words have never escaped this woman's mouth. Come on, motherfuckers. Although I would like it to at some point. Come on, motherfuckers.
I'm sure it
Let's
will.
fucking go.
Mama's gotta sleep. I'm yelling. I don't want
Enough.
to graciously too, but I'm saying you just fucking
sleep.
bring the patch.
Yeah.
You're like the Cabbage Patch of subjects. You bring it back.
Yay. So 10 out of 10, Reservoir Dogs. Thank you for the recommendation, sir. It is now on my love movies category.
All right, very cool. If you guys haven't seen Reservoir Dogs, like Luis, you guys need to check it out. It's on HBO Max. So if you guys get a chance, please watch that movie. Treat yourself to that movie and treat yourself. And I know last episode was Carmen's episode, and she actually recommended something to Andres. Carmen, can you remind us what you recommended, Andres?
Yes, I recommended he watch High Fidelity, which is on Hulu. It is with Zoe Kravitz. And it's loosely based on the book and movie that has prior been released. It does have its own flavor to it, and it's really good. I wouldn't say it's a love story because it's not, but love definitely plays out in the show in a different way than most shows portray love. But it's good, so I hope that he enjoyed it. I know he left us some feedback. What do you have to say?
Well, he actually said, he states, I was recommended High Fidelity on Hulu by Carmen, and I absolutely loved it. Zoe Kravitz is incredible in it, a broken-hearted musical genius. The show takes many elements from the book and the original movie and makes them their own. I give it a 10 out of 10.
2 out of the parks.
Yeah,
that's actually. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that was 2 10 out of 10s in a row. So we got a 10 out of 10 from Luis with Reservoir Dogs and a 10 out of 10 from Andres and Carmen for High Fidelity.
Yeah. I know that I made it last time. It made it seem like it's a show just about music, or like for people that enjoy thoroughly like knowing or learning about music. There's more to it than that. There's like it's very relatable in a way where like you can sit there and like think back to a situation where you're like, okay, I have been in this situation and music did help me, or like I have related to music in that sense where like this is the one song that carried me, or like that could really explain that situation. You know, and that's what I thoroughly enjoyed about the show, because as our listeners know, we have a playlist, and most of that playlist is us pitching a song that really means something to us, or that has, you know, and so just this show kind of goes along in the lines of that and relating to music. So I don't know, I think it's really awesome. I definitely think it's a show worth watching, and that everybody can enjoy, really. Like, I know most girlfriends don't usually enjoy like the superhero stuff or whatever, or cartoons, but this is a show that they would probably truly enjoy.
Very cool. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Carmen. I mean, there's every one of us has that playlist that got us through, you know, almost anything, you know, whether it's a breakup or, you know, the loss of someone or anything, actually, you know, that just automatically when you hear the first few notes, it brings you back to that place. So that's actually,
do you guys
cool.
have a song that plays? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Esteban. But do you guys have a song that, like, as soon as it starts playing, you know that you're about to cry? Like, you know that if that song keeps playing, there's going to be waterworks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damn. I just thinking about it, like, I'm like, no, let's not talk about it. But yeah, so, I mean, that's powerful. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it got me there.
Okay.
I think that should be our next category for, like, the next week playlist. Put that song on, but don't cry, guys. It's going to be fine.
Okay, very cool.
No promises.
I know,
Promises,
right?
promises.
Or get in your feelings. You know what? Feel it.
You know what? Why not, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I'm going to be hosting again next week, so
There you go.
if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right. So everyone, bring your tissues.
Okay.
Not the dirty ones.
Yeah, my mind immediately went, we're gonna jerk off.
I know that's where your mind went to. I know that's where. And for you to use tissues, use a towel, man. Come on.
Now I know why you're sticky. Oh, hi.
Mom walks in, and it's like, that's what you call sticky buns.
Yeah. And then I started shoving it so far down her. Oh, hey.
So I jizzed in her butt, right? Oh, hey.
Couldn't get out of her. And then, for everybody that doesn't know, we just went in. Like Spotify's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah, because
Exactly.
because the Spotify representative is listening to the podcast.
No.
Josh, are you hearing this? I'm pretty sure this guy's talking about jizzing in another guy's butt.
I'm sure they.
Michael, is that comics podcast again?
I told you to stop listening. It's gonna rot your brain.
They're
Should've
gonna
cut
be
them
like,
off years ago.
did you know that term sticky bun? Did you know what it meant? Now I know.
I wish I didn't. He's like clawing into his brain. Get it out of me. Which is also what he said.
The sticky bun at like fucking Albertsons or something. Like, hey, I know that guy.
No, it's not even that. It's like cut to him at lunch, and he opens up his lunchbox, and there's a sticky bun in there. He's, oh.
I envision at the grocery store, someone gives you like a slap in the butt. They say "good game," but you didn't play anything. Like, "Good game, bud." And you know, both of you know.
Like on episode 100, when we forget this joke, like that's gonna be a deep cut when somebody like hands us a sticky bun. Like, what the fuck is it? Oh,
I know, right? Oh,
I wouldn't question it. I'd be happy for the treat. Come on, joke. He's like, did you get the joke? What joke?
He's got the glaze all over his mouth.
It's all over my face. All right.
Speaking of glaze, Luis.
Wonderful transition, sir.
Andres has a recommendation for you, sir. He's recommending for you to go ahead and watch a TV show. It's Battlestar Galactica. You can catch it on Peacock. It's free on Peacock. It's only 4 seasons. I think it was on.
I ain't watching 4 seasons, dude.
No, I know. It's because sometimes some of the shows or episodes are.
No, it's true.
Yeah, so
it's got a huge following. I know that.
It does. It has a massive following. So go ahead and check it out and report back next week, sir.
Aye, will do.
Well, we welcome anybody we make a recommendation to. I know that sounded like I was drunk, but I've only been on 2 shots. Anybody that has a recommendation or that follows our recommendation, not only will we use your comments, not only will we do our comments on how we felt about what we saw, we'll also read your comments about how you guys saw it. So it's gonna be like our mutual
join us.
Yeah, Luis.
Yeah, whenever you guys have watched one of the shows that we recommended, give us your intake on it. Like, what did you like it? Did you hate it? We're interested.
Or if you have a retort to a response that one of us said, like Falling Skies, I was like, the CGI was whatever. But if somebody saw it right when it came out and be like, at the time it was the shit and this was awesome, whatever. Like, if you have some sort of debate, we would love to hear it. Let us know in the comments below.
It was funny. Oh, I hate that line. It's so funny. The way Esteban and I felt about it in the beginning was like, that shit scared me when we were kids. And then like fucking everybody's like, bro, you could tell, you could see the fucking mechanical arm and the guy holding the jib, holding it. Like, yeah, I know, but you guys have no imagination. Like, you gotta go with the imagination as a kid. Like, you're in that shit with that motherfucker, and it's not fun. And a lot of things in a lot of places, and no one's happy about it.
Wow. On that note, Luis, do we have any other comments? Do we have any comments for this episode?
Yes, we have a lot, actually. So we'll get right into it. I'm going to start with my favorite comment. And it was from something that I can't pronounce because the letters are, I'm pretty sure, on a Russian keyboard. So that when they translate over, they come off all weird. So I can't read it. I don't know who you are, nor do I know what you're saying. What I do
But I
know,
will find you.
what I do know is that he liked and commented the "I Shot the Clerk" short video mashup. So if you don't follow us on Instagram or subscribe to us on YouTube, I strongly recommend it. There have been a plethora of content that's been going up. This is let me rewind a tiny bit. This is the part of the show where we like to involve you, I want to say the word fans, but I'm going to say viewers, listeners, anybody that's involved with the podcast. If you want to speak up and share your opinion on it, this is where we showcase that. We talk about whatever comment it is that you have for us, or even if it's a retort off something that we said, anything, we will read it on the show, and it's your opportunity to be a part of it. If you can like and subscribe, costs nothing to you, means everything to us. So with that being said, this person that, again, I can't read anything that he had said, but it was on I Shot the Clerk, and it was a video mashup. So thank you, person that commented on that. We also have
That was the comment, the thumbs up?
well, no, the comment was the number 5 XTSAB, but his name is a Russian it's a Russian keyboard, so I can't decode it. I don't know what it says. So
to our friend, to our listeners out in Russia, thank you.
Yeah, keep commenting on things, and we will keep reading, paraphrasing what you're saying. We like that he clicked like, and then he commented a single word. I don't know what the word is, but he did so, and then he hashtagged his comment on the I Shot the Clerk. So I can only imagine that you enjoyed it, and so we enjoy you. Thank you for your support. Okay.
Fucking mad, like fucking jinx, like some weird, like and if you read it out loud, we all die in 7 days. Thank God you saved us.
It's a good thing that I can't read in Russian.
Speaking of crying,
I can't read
in Russian. All right, so podcast superfan Vanessa Ayala, Wheel of Misfortune, rock on fingers. The whole point of the wheel is the misfortune, duh. So versus the wheel of morality. So morality doesn't make sense. Misfortune does, considering there's misfortune in the wheel. I hate that you make sense, Vanessa, but I'll read the rest of your comment. Also, Luis hasn't seen Reservoir Dogs! ! Question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, sad face. Yes. However, I did see it. Ash has taught me the error of my ways. And also, thank you for listening, Vanessa. We appreciate you. P.S.
You upgraded her to super fan, by the way. Don't run over that. You upgraded her to super fan.
Yeah.
We'll call her super fan. Not quite general. She's super fan for sure. Keep working the ranks, Vanessa. You're getting there. And then P.S. I make the best red chilaquiles. So I am responding to which comics taste test coming soon. We need to see this. We need to see this happen.
We shall see.
Heavyweight. This is on Whiskers bloopers. So Ash is director, editor, fucking everything of what? Shut up, man. So it's Ash's babies. These sketches. It's what he's very passionate about, and he puts them together, and he does it very well. But it looks like we're having a lot of fun, which we are. But there is a lot of work that goes behind it.
I just heard a big pop.
Yes, they will.
When Dodgers win, it gets violent. And so it's a lot of work that goes into it, but it is fun, but it's still a lot of work. And so we like to throw a little behind the scenes of the sketches of just us fucking up lines and us laughing at each other and having a good time. And that's exactly what that video is. And so Heavyweight, general, one of the generals of the army, he said, I thought you guys knocked it out in one take. Oh, and here I thought you guys knocked it out in one take. And no, it looks easy, and it looks, even the dumbest concepts like actually takes a long time. Like I think the one that took us the longest was the first one, the Batman beatdown.
Yeah.
We did There was so much footage we didn't use because we just like, okay, well, what about if we take what if I take the stick out of the fridge? Okay, what if I take the stick out of my back pocket? What if it's in the back over? Like, it was just a constant cut and take, and we just, yeah. But anyway, good stuff. And then following on top of that, this is a comment on episode 53. Dark Temptation was formed when everyone started confusing Marvin and I. Instead of saying Wild Stallions, I made up Dark Temptation. So
the origin story.
Yeah, I heard, even though I wasn't in last episode, I did hear that you guys were talking about why Ash wasn't a part of Dark Temptation, and it was because they kept getting confused with one another, and it's pretty funny. Thank you for sharing that, bud. And the last one that he has a recommendation for us, but I don't think it's a real recommendation, but I'm gonna read it anyway. My drink recommendation for you guys is Schiltz malt liquor, and then he has a sick emoji face, a laughing emoji face, and a throw up emoji face.
Yeah, no, I'm not drinking that. No.
Is that like Four Locos type shit?
I was just gonna ask you if you guys were down to do a Four Locos.
I do Four Locos. As long as I don't work the next day. I'm pretty sure that's just gonna kill me.
I am not down for Four Locos. I've done that once. Never gonna do it again.
I'm down with that.
I don't know.
Oh, Carmen is so down. It's in her blood.
We'll get him drunk enough to say yes.
It's in your blood, Carmen.
Probably
Yes.
I probably would.
Yeah, of
Just
course
to
you would.
See,
What a
like,
buzz.
what the fuck happened?
Wait, you've never had a Four Loko?
No, I've had a Four Locos, but see, the last time I had a Four Locos, a lot of shit happened, and
Yeah,
I don't
same.
know if I'm ready for that to repeat itself.
Same.
I just imagine like you finish drinking, you put the can down, like, and then light goes out, light goes on, and me and Ash are stabbed on the floor. Like when you say all kinds of shit went down, I need to know what kind of shit went down.
You know, remember?
We'll talk.
He's
Yeah,
backing up, makes up in Hangover, and he's like, fucking, like all this shit was like a fucking.
Why am I in Vegas? Like,
It was sort of like
oh my god.
We ended up on a trip to like downtown LA. We ended up at some club, and I was tripping out. Most likely won the Four Locos, and I was cross-faded, and I could have sworn that the walls were caving in, and
Nice.
it's a whole thing. Yeah, it's a whole story.
You also mentioned crossfaded with what, pot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
you doing some coke? Like,
Oh no.
I'm like, what kind of party is this? All right, let's party it up there.
You're
just
like,
kidding.
then I'm down for this party.
I'm
Or not. No.
just
I
kidding.
didn't
Anybody
forgot,
that I
no.
care about that's listening to this. All right. Four Locos coming soon.
Nope.
No.
No.
Come on, Carmen. We had you a second ago.
Nope. Last time I had Four Locos, I don't remember anything of that night.
So that's like a normal drunk night for you.
Yes.
No, it's not.
I remember hearing your birthday drunk night, and that sounds very similar. And then Ash pieced together the stories of you trying to fight people. So, and you breaking your ankle, jumping over a little chain or some shit.
I didn't break my ankle. Just saying. I didn't break
Your
it.
arm? You sprain your arm?
It was my wrist. I sprained my wrist.
Yeah, you did.
Wait, I thought you sprained your wrist and your ankle. Just your wrist?
It's the best.
I think it was both. I don't remember.
All right,
man.
well,
I was drunk.
You fuck yourself up. You're ready to fuck people up, and you're fucking up some tacos. All kinds of fucking up.
It was bad enough that I had to be the one in like fucking. Hey, everybody's good. Everybody's good. All right, it was good. Like I had to be all fucking.
All right, we're friends.
The time that he was doing that, he was like standing next to no one. It was just him talking to
We all
himself.
Hell no.
I imagined
I
you.
remember as we were walking out of Taco
24 hours.
Yeah, and you fucking shouldered that motherfucker
Fuck him
so
up, dude.
fucking hard.
Fuck
He was
him up.
right next to the fucking like. There's that little like the little entrance where all they have to do is lock it. He was standing so far away.
I imagined Ash like Chris Pratt with the Velociraptors.
With the Velociraptor.
Like he's looking at both of you.
Look at me. He's like clicking.
Like, click, click, click.
And you fucking.
That's what calms down Esteban.
And I was like, and when he hits him so hard, even Esteban like bounces off and looks at him like he's at fault. And then like I was like, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Like as like leading him out, like no, bro, yeah, he didn't mean it, like to Esteban, but like knowing
so behind him, yeah, I did.
Not to mention the whole time fucking. Okay, so these benches are back to back, and we're all seated back to back. So it's a bench, but this other side is back to back bench, and he's doing this. And the guy's like just trying to eat. He's just like, plastic for a second. Bam! Bam!
It was, and you know what, dude? It was probably some dude. It was probably some dude. He just got off work. You know, he just wanted to go have dinner and eat. You know,
I like to visualize that he just got dumped that night. Like, all he and like his buddies come over. And they're like,
worst night ever.
yeah, like he's having he got fired, and then he goes home, and then he sees that his dog ran away, his girlfriend broke up with him, and so his friends come over to cheer him up, and they're like, "What do you like, dude? Forget about I just really want some tacos. Like, dude, it's 3 a.m. I really just want some tacos. My life couldn't be any worse." And then every time he's about to take a bite out of the taco, just life, just beating this shit. Oh man, he killed himself shortly after that. Okay, so
no, he did not. Disclaimer: he did not. No,
I know, I'm kidding.
He's happily living somewhere.
We don't know that. I don't think he ever recovered after Becca broke up with him. So anyway, moving on.
God damn it, Becca.
She was a bitch. He was too good for her. All right. Vanessa Ayala, super fan. She comes back 23 hours ago for comics episode 53. First of all, let's talk about how adorable Carmen is looking today. 3 exclamation points. Loving the outfit and the hair. Rock out fingers.
Oh, you dressed up last week.
Yeah, she did. She had a little bow tie. I commented about it.
And I was supposed to dress up this week, but I'm sorry it didn't happen, so I owe it. I'll go extra next week.
Well, don't do that because then you might elevate the bar for everybody, and I'm not down.
Well, I got plans
on.
No. Do it, Carmen, because I have plans for next week as I host. So.
Or you can't, or you could not.
No, I think I will.
Whatever.
Fine.
Whatever. I'm reading comments. Goddamn.
Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
When the show lands, would it land on Halloween week? Next week?
Sure?
No. It's going to be the 28th.
No, not my show.
We will record the 28th, and then it will come out after Halloween.
Yeah.
It will come out. Yeah.
So it would be
costume.
It would be Luisa's show.
Costume show, Luisa's show. It's happening. And
no. Okay, sorry, but Luisa's show, but when his releases, it'll be after. So next week is the Halloween show. Then.
No, it's not next week. It's the week after.
No. I see what Ash is saying when it releases. Because if we record next week and then we drop it that week, that'd be Halloween week. Because then we would record for us. It's before Halloween, but for the listeners and the viewers.
Yeah.
Halloween show next week. I'm dressing up.
Very well then.
All right. Okay, yeah. So Carmen looks adorable. Blah blah blah. Just kidding.
Not blah blah blah. Thank you.
She's like, actually, let's take it from the top. Reread that same comment.
But read it slowly.
You're very sweet, Vanessa. We appreciate the kind words. Thank you. And then she follows up with Midnight Mass. Oh my God, I'm on episode 6. So good. And then she comments on another piece of it. Yes, La Carreta is right across from Mole's La Tia. Not as good as it used to be, but better. I need my chilaquiles to be extra spicy. I can make both red and green. Rock out fingers. So that is 2 comments of chilaquiles. You really want to display your chilaquiles making skills. I can't do them really well, but I can do like a pocho version of it. Pocho is Mexican slang for a Hispanic that was born here in the States. So I can make a very pocho version of chilaquiles. So I'm down to taste test.
Taste test.
I say we test yours versus hers. That way we have one army and one comics.
Bro, like you're gonna know which one is which. Like one of them's just like brown, and the other one's gonna look legit like green or red. And you'll be like, which one's Luis's?
Like
which one's Luis's. He has olives in it.
Culinary art where I mix the red and the green sauce, and he's like, "I'm gonna elevate your palate, guys." And
comes
like,
orange.
"No, thank you."
He's like, yeah, he elevates our palate, and all of a sudden we have black olives all over it.
Elevate your palate.
Oh, that's the worst.
Elevate your palate, also known as chorro. So, not happening.
No, but let's be honest,
really
that's the worst. That's the worst. It's like
chorro?
You're going. No, well, yes, that.
I'm like, I mean, it sucks, but
when you go to a potluck,
yeah.
When you go to a potluck and then someone's like, "Oh, hey, they brought enchiladas," you're like, "Oh, fuck yeah, enchiladas!" And you go over and you peel back the fucking foil to go ahead and get some, and then you see the sour cream on top, and you see fucking black olives all over.
Yeah, fuck. Olives are great.
Somebody says
Yes.
enchilada casserole, I'm like, I'm out.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you prefer
No.
like rolled up and like little rolled up enchiladas, or do you prefer the layered?
I don't discriminate. If it's good, it's good. And also, black olives are fucking awesome.
Black olives are amazing. I
Black
order
olives are
every
disgusting.
and once they say black olives, they looked at me like,
I agree with you, Esteban. Black olives are disgusting. Olives in general are disgusting, unless they're in a martini. That's the only exception. I don't know why they work, but they do.
No, they don't like you guys either. So I mean,
black olives
whatever.
Oh, black olives can go burn in hell. So there's that.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Oh man. All right.
Back to you, Luis.
Thank you guys. All right, and then heavyweight wraps it up. King of not the king. General, thank you, of the army. This is in regards to the cocktails and comics.
Hey. You said cock.
I emphasize on the cock. He's commenting on our cock.
Like comments. It's an hour in and we haven't started the fucking show.
I mean, the interruptions have nothing to do with it. Not at all.
How dare you, sir?
It is all me and sucking at reading.
Your fucking KTLA fucking headset.
Shut up. 405's backed up, guys. Eat shit. All right. The intro.
I dealt with 50 shows
God.
of my microphone being a fucking piece of shit. You could deal with one show about your fucking KTL headset.
God, what's taking so long? It's almost an hour. And another thing, like, motherfucker, like, I'm about to read it. We are literally on the last comment. We are literally
coming straight to you to the studio, KTLA.
Yeah. I think the Dodgers won. I don't think the Dodgers won, actually. I think they lost, but
no, they won. We're in the playoffs.
Oh, okay. Whoa. This just in. They're in the playoffs, guys. All right. Eat shit, Ash.
If they make it to the World Series, we should do comics.
God damn it.
Together.
You done? You good?
A few more pumps. Go on.
The intro really makes me want to break a cold one.
On Carmen's face is priceless. And I wish that would have happened on camera. I promise I will shut up for the rest of this comment.
No, you won't. And it's fine. The intro of the cocktails and comics makes me want to drink a cold one, he says. This is heavyweight. Followed by there was a post that we just recently put up called Ash's Friend Batman, which Kevin Conroy, the legendary Kevin Conroy himself, playing the Batman role for over 29 years, if I heard his quote correctly, has some very nice words to say to Ash since they're legal best friends. And we posted that, and Heavyweight commented on that as well. Oh my gosh, this is so dope. What a great gift. Ash, you are loved. And yes, who else to love you than the Caped Crusader himself, Kevin Conroy. But anyway, that is concluding our comments.
I promised to shut up, but that was one of the most appreciated things in my life. That was a very, 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 very dark few months. It was my mom, and then a few months later it was my uncle, and then my uncle was the person who was getting me over, or not even over, but getting me through getting over my mom, and then he went. So when that voice, it wasn't even speaking to me, it was almost like universal, because it really, when it first came out, and it came out on our comics podcast, just as a post, there's so many people that were going through either something similar or something that affected them the way that affected me, that were commenting on it, because it hit people at the right time. And that's a familiarity that is not common. There's only so many people that have that. I mean, like, it could be a joke like, hey, I'm walking, happy birthday. And that would be like amazing, because there's just a familiarity about the voice. Or Morgan Freeman saying like, hey, by the way, fucking your overdraft on your account. But it's Morgan Freeman telling you. It's kind of like a cushions the blow. Right. But it's Batman like saying every right thing. He honestly could have showed up and said like, hey dude, I'm sorry, that shit sucks, hope everything gets better, blah blah blah. He really went into like a life spectrum, and how I honestly don't feel like he was just speaking to me. He was speaking about the entirety of how to handle that type of loss.
To me, what's beautiful about it, for him, Kevin Conroy specifically, is just, you're right. Like, it felt like that he genuinely, and I disagree a little bit. I feel that he genuinely spoke to you. Like, it felt the way that he did it was just in such a wonderful, like, human way. But he did it, I think he played that really well. For those of you who haven't seen it, I strongly recommend either check it out on our Instagram or on our YouTube. And he starts with as the voice of Batman, and then he cuts at a point of it. It's like, okay, well, now this is Kevin, and then Kevin Conroy wanted to speak, and then he transitions a little bit between Batman and Kevin Conroy. And I think the way that it was done was it was beautifully executed. And I was like, that's a human being talking to another human being, which in during a time of quarantine was very much missed. But anyway,
weird. I can't see that video right now. I got to be in a more positive. Like, I can't watch that video right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw it in its completion.
We got a like, and I saw the video that it was liked, and I was like, nope. Like, that video, because of how it brought me up, like, it will put me back in the feels. You know what I mean? Like, I see. Anyway, go ahead.
So good. Oh, and that is our last comment. Again, we appreciate all of the support, guys. All of you, seriously. It means the world to us. But yeah, we will, more things to come. We will keep posting up more content on our channel, and we would encourage you to like, share, subscribe. Again, costs nothing to you, means everything to us. We appreciate all the support. And with that, back to the fearless leader, Esteban. Back to you, sir.
All right, thanks a lot, Luis. Really do appreciate it. So we are going to go ahead and jump into a few things today, okay? A few trailers that came out. Second trailer to Hawkeye, trailer to an upcoming thriller called The Black Phone, Scream, upcoming Scream movie, and the teaser trailer, not even really can you really consider it a trailer, for the upcoming DC fandom? It looks like Matt Reeves is going to go ahead and drop another second trailer to The Batman. Along with that, we've got some more DC news, Marvel news, and we'll see where we go from there. I mean, we'll see how far down the rabbit hole we all go. So jumping into some DC news, It was reported this week that Jonathan Kent, son of Superman, is now bisexual. How does everybody feel about that? Does it really bother anybody? Yes, Luis, question in the back.
Doesn't bother. It makes sense to me because up until recently he was a minor. So it's not that you've changed a character, it's just he's gotten older and they're making it a point to let's age him a little bit so that you can see his growth. And it's like now that he gets to a point where he's discovering his sexuality, for it to come out as bi, I mean, not to make it overly PG, but I like that it has representation because I can't help but always think of how hard it must be for a kid that's going through that doesn't understand it. And to me growing up during a time where, and I was one of them that would just say the word gay was meant as negative, but I never meant it as a homophobic comment. But it's like, dude, you're wearing a baseball cap? That's gay. Like, it was more of like you're gonna go back to school just so you can get your jacket? Dude, that's gay. Just wait till tomorrow. Like, it was a comment that was just kind of said it was a slang almost. But then somebody that was actually dealing with something, it's like, why is that always negative? And it's like, oh, didn't realize that, Anyway, not to hit it too long, but I like that it has that form of representation. Like, I think to myself actually quite a bit, like how awesome it is that I was straight, so that because it wasn't difficult for me. It's what I liked was what was expected of me. So I'm like, oh great, like I like boobs and girls. So that's what's normal. So I have my uncles and family that is like, oh yeah, look at that girl, look how cute she is. But like, if it was secretly had something else, like I can't imagine how difficult that shit would be, because I would feel like there was something wrong with me, and there isn't anything wrong with you. You're born a certain way. You like what you like. But anyway, I'm all for it. I would like it. Follow your heart, little kid.
All right, Carmen.
I have no objections whatsoever. I appreciate the nod to include different people. I don't know how. I know that like my pause seems like I'm gonna go negative with it, but it's not. It's just that like I don't know why some people would have a problem with the representation, or for him being bisexual, or even if he was gay. Like, why would that be a problem? It's not a problem. He's a superhero. That doesn't mean he can't have whatever preference for his sexuality. That's, and I guess that leads me to like the more serious conversation. Even Luis, you were kind of mentioning it depends on the background and like what you're dealing with, what you were kind of exposed to, on how accepted that is. And so like for a kid to be exposed to this on a comic or even mainstream, I think it's great, because as he even said, there isn't anything. It's just, it is what it is. Like, it's just that, you love all individuals or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I appreciate media covering it so that kids don't feel unaccepted or like there's something wrong with them. And I think that's really important, because a lot of mental health problems come from that. And I think, as a society, we need to do our due diligence to include everyone and to make everyone feel loved and wanted, and teach our children better than we were taught. And so accepting people that are different than us is a big step for that. So I appreciate that, and I am all for it. I can't wait to see the story and what it's gonna, I'd be interested. Like, is he, who are going to be his love interests? Villains, like that'd be like a good take on the comic. So, I mean, I'm all for it.
Right on. Very cool. Ash?
It's going to be cool. It's
I just imagine him going the opposite way. He's like,
No,
I hate it.
It's a way to have everybody have their Superman. We're gonna have it's like whoever got whatever god you have. It's like Black Santa. It's everybody gets to have their Superman. Everybody gets to have their Santa. Everybody gets to have their Jesus. I'm good with it. I don't care. It doesn't affect me either way. The guy's gonna still save the world. Whatever. Collect or don't collect. It just I feel like Morgan Freeman said it best when he said like the only reason it's an issue is because we keep talking about it. And I don't mean that we're talking about it and what's our opinion on it. I just think that it shouldn't have been, it should have just been. That's what it is.
Right.
Like media. Yeah.
We're going to turn Superman bisexual to please everybody, which then that's a bigger topic because you're changing iconic character because this is where we are shifting.
Superman's son, by the way.
Yeah, it's Superman's son. It's not Superman.
No. What I'm saying is it's different if you're going to change somebody that change an established character and then just and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm cool. Like I don't know, man. To be honest, the fucking cancel culture. It's
right.
I tap. I think everything's great. It's all good. And I'm not saying they're going to cancel a little podcast like us, but I'm just saying like, it's just, there's no discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, and I don't want to like really be real about stuff like that until there's a discussion. I want everybody just to be happy and be good.
Right. No, I understand. I understand where you're coming from, but I feel that this is a topic that still is considered taboo, which I completely feel that it should not be at all. I think we are ending on 2021 with going on what 2 years of a quarantine or 2 years dealing with a pandemic. I mean, there are so much more things bigger than people trying to cancel, what DC is doing. There are so many, there are like, just like Luis is saying, I'm not going to know, what a 12, 13-year-old kid feels if they're trying to figure out their own sexuality. Like, it's not my place to tell them to say, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, or that's weird. You shouldn't like girls because you're a girl, and you shouldn't like boys because you're a boy. No, if that's something that they feel comfortable with, if that's something that makes them feel at home and feel comfortable, and that makes them feel who they are, and then by all means, do you be happy. But please, there are so many people out there that are trying to target and find. All I'm saying is just be careful out there. You know what I mean? And by no means am I saying don't be flamboyant, don't be out there, don't dress a certain way or anything like that. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. The world is a savage place.
If all four of us created a character and in 4 years, all of a sudden it was cool to be whatever, like right. It's different for a company of people to say, let's do that. It's not, you're not being, and I'm probably speaking for them because maybe that the person that created the character is being genuine about it. Right. It's, if there was hints of it and we're leading to it and he's always been, fine. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't collected it, but I'm just saying it's hard for DC has been grasping at everything. So, but we dealt with it with like when Namor came out, like it doesn't matter, man. Like it doesn't ruin my world or anything. It's just it's more be genuine about changing something and not just trying to create a specific society. Don't try to please a specific group just to.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So let me see if I understood correctly.
My favorite part is you rolling your eyes as I'm trying to discuss.
No. I'm not rolling my eyes. I understand that it comes off that way, but this is genuinely like my thinking face because I'm trying to break shit down and it takes me a while. Sorry. But okay. So we're okay with the representation. It's not a big deal. But what would potentially be kind of like a red flag that pops up for people is if DC is only doing this because this is like the popular thing that's going on right now. And like, so if the character was already going to be taking that, or that's the story that was for the character, you know, like it's all good. Like it shouldn't be an issue. That's what it is. But if now this DC or the writers are saying, oh, you know what's gonna bring us some views or some like sales is if we make this inclusive.
They make it like a big spectacle.
Right. I get that. Okay.
They could pull back.
Whether that
he
was
bi, so you know what I mean?
I see your point, but whether that is their intention or not, regardless, it's at least bringing some representation. You know what I mean? Which, like, I don't have and I know that you're not saying that you have a problem with at all. Like, I'm not saying that. I understand that. It's still really good to give a character some depth on that. Whether let's just say, like, originally that was not going to be their story, right? But now it's going to be their story. I wouldn't say that that's unfortunate, but I guess what I'm trying to say is just like for somebody that had to have that discovery or like that journey to be represented, or to like even know that you could read something where that's, hey, you know what, my parents may not agree with me or may not know what's going on, but I can read this and like it's okay, or like it's, you know, like I know that we've talked about this, but like most of us have a religious background, or our family does, and so like it's sinful, you know, so like it's not a sin, and like at least, you know, like that doesn't make me a lesser of a person or whatever, and I get to relate to a character. And now I understand the bigger picture of that, where maybe like the company's doing that for profit or just because it's the mainstream thing that's happening right now. But like, I'll take that because a kid is going to be able to relate to it no matter what. So it is a double-edged sword in a way, but I'll take it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Luis.
Yes.
Small comment on it is I do agree with you, Carmen. Playing devil's advocate though, I felt that there's a little comic by the name of Hellblazer, more famously known as Constantine. He's bi. They didn't make it a big spectacle, and this comic that came out in the 80s, the way that he came out was there was a bartender that was hitting on him, and then the next scene they're in bed together. There was no announcement. It was just, this is happening.
That's what happened.
And so, and I think that's what Ash was saying. It's like, if he is, then he is, but don't do this thing. And when it happened, I was like, what? And like, I didn't know how to react at first until the next day, like in the comic book world, he asked, he's like, oh, I didn't know you were gay. He's like, I'm not. He's like, but he's like, oh, don't get me wrong. Like, it was fun, but I like dames. I like blokes. Like, I'm here to have fun.
Did you use the word blokes?
Well, it's a quote from he's from
like
what is
England.
Yeah, he's from England, but I forgot the name of the place. It's a beer that's named after it. Okay, whatever. Yes, Newcastle. Thank you, Newcastle. But yeah, so that was his quote, and I always thought, I was like, oh, that's so cool that it was done that way. And the Kid Flash, and this is gonna make sense in a second. In the CW Flash, Kid Flash, the black kid, he came out as bi, I think in the second season. And I have a friend that is bi. And I said it out loud of like, I don't understand why this is a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal. Like, he just is what he is. He should like what he likes, and it's no big thing. And his response to me is something that resonated with me, and I've kept all these years later. And what he told me was, I see I see what you're saying, but unless you are bi, you don't understand, and that's okay. But for him to come out and say that it's okay to be the way that he is gives people courage to say that it's okay to be the way that they are. And I never saw it that way, because I always saw it
100%.
in my brain, the way my brain was putting it together, because I've never dealt with that, so I don't know what it is.
Right.
It's like, why should we care his business? His business is his business. Leave it behind closed doors. But it's even more than that. It's, I'm going to put myself on the fire so that if somebody can look at it and say, oh, wow, it is normal, because this is making news. And it's like, oh, that's like me, or I feel this way. Like, and that's the bigger picture of what they're doing. And I'm all for that.
No, for sure. I mean, it comes down to ignorance is bliss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we don't know.
100%.
No, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's because that's something that we've never dealt with before or anything like that. So to us, it's just like, well, it's their business. Like, why is everyone making a big old spectacle about it? And to your friend's point, is that if you're not bi or you're not gay, you'll never understand.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm glad. I mean, again, I'm glad that DC is doing something like this. And the fact is that it's to a powerful hero. I mean, not saying that Constantine's not a powerful
Like,
hero.
fuck you, man. Yeah, I get you.
You know, but it's just one of those things. Well, if Superman or Superboy is, and he was able to do it. Yeah, granted, it's a comic book, but still, the character still did it. You know, still was able to come out, and everything's fine.
Sorry, I'm trying to avoid the puns, and you're like, he did it, and then he's trying to come out, and it's like, but like come out like section. Okay,
I appreciate you holding back on the puns. So, moving on to some more DC news. So apparently, the Flash movie that is scheduled to be coming out next year will unify all the films in the DC universe. So apparently this DC film is going to go ahead and bring everything together, pretty much stating that DC is a multiverse, which is something that we already kind of knew, you know, being that they're bringing in, you know, Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck and, you know, and the Flashpoint movie that's supposed to be coming out, you know. So how do you guys feel about Warner Brothers finally acknowledging that all the DC movies in the universe that we've seen thus far are somehow unified and are one cohesive multiverse or universe? Luis?
I think they were trying to keep this close to the chest, but Marvel backed them into a corner, because when Spider-Man No Way Home, when that started to surface, and it's like, oh, this is our plan, when we've known this Flash movie has been in development for years before it started shooting, and this had always been their like hinted at plan. They're like, oh, Flashpoint. And so now that it's like they're doing it, and it's like, no, we're doing it too, but we were doing it first. Like, so I feel that they're forcing their hand to say that this is what they're doing because Marvel's beating them to the punch yet again. So that's what I think.
Like I picture, this is what I picture. I picture Kevin Feige in his office. I picture Walter Hamada in his office. And like when the news breaks and one of them sees it, they're talking shit to each other. Like they're calling each other and they're talking shit to each other. You know, Kevin Feige sees, you know, the Flash movie is now, you know, is going to go ahead and unify all the movies. He ends up calling Walter Hamada, and it's like, oh, so you guys have a multiverse now too, huh? You know, like just talking shit like back and forth. And, you know, it's just one of those things like billionaires just fucking fighting and shit.
Succession status.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I mean, it was one of those things that I think we all knew that DC was going to go ahead and do this. Whether it's going to be how they end up spinning it, if they do it like a Crisis on Infinite Earth type thing, where this is Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 12, whatever, or if it becomes something a little bit bigger than that, I mean, who knows? We'll see. I strongly have a feeling that this Flash movie is going to have a lot more Easter eggs, and it's going to have a lot more that we don't know, that they are holding close to the vest. And I'm sure we'll end up finding out this weekend when DC Fandom ends up coming out. And I'm sure we'll get some sort of teaser. I'm sure we'll get something. So, Ash, what do you feel about the Flash movie making the universe a unified universe?
I mean, it's you and I are in the same class, and I'm already fucking up, and I know, and I have finally for my final, I have this genius thing that you have been getting straight A's this entire time, and you have the same idea. It's hard for me because you have such a clout of success.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Doctor Strange into Spider-Man into Venom. Oh no, into Spider-Man, into Venom, into you have a bunch of, let's just say, Easter eggs or little snippets and little lead-ins to where we're going. Flashpoint, we have maybe, if we accept it as it, the I'm too early nightmare from Bruce Wayne, maybe, and that's it. If we're going to, so it's either going to be a Snyder cut where it needs to be fucking 3.5 hours for everything to make sense.
Okay.
Or you know what? I think it's going to be amazing. Everybody's going to, Marvel and DC are going to do amazing. They're going to,
I feel like you had more to that, but you were just kind of like,
no, I don't want to rant. I don't want to be negative Nelly. It's hard for me to believe because there's Aquaman and Wonder Woman were successful, but they didn't see Batman and Superman as successful. But I don't know. We have this rant every single time. I hope for the best because Keaton's involved and he signed on for 3 more movies. So fucking A. I'm all about Keaton. I really genuinely hope it's successful. I fucking hate it didn't make the amount of money we need. Scrap it. Let's make Jason Momoa back. Like I'm out. I just don't like the way DC does that shit where it doesn't match Marvel and they don't just let things grow and let fucking Black Widow didn't, and then like with Black Widow now, like it just whatever. I just don't like that. They don't look at AEW versus WWE. AEW started here, gaining traction, and all of a sudden it's like all about AEW, and WWE is almost like the fucking Skeletor to He-Man. Like it's the stuff you always wanted to see, and Marvel's doing everything where it gives the respect to the comic book, and then it's not going to happen it's like Kirkman. It's giving respect to the comic book, but you're not going to get exactly that, but that a person's going to die in that way, but not that person from the comic book. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I've seen this. What am I watching?
Right.
So
right.
That's all. Just it's hard for them to handle an entire world, and now they're going to do with a multiverse when they haven't handled one universe, and now they're depending on these universes that they've scrapped, and they're going to try to make Keaton as good as Tim Burton's Keaton, which Keaton will probably fucking still rock it, but you know what I mean? Like, it might not still have the feel of the fucking where Ed Edward Scissorhands fits in the world of Batman, that fits in the world of Corpse Bride, that fits in the world of, you know what I mean? Like it all fits in the world, even though they're separate worlds. It's just it's hard. So they have a big task, and I hope they do it. Because I want them to be successful. I just don't want them to scrap shit because it doesn't work. Which is why it's a roundabout way of what I was talking about when a character comes out as bi, like, don't just scrap it because it didn't work. Just go. Like, just that. I hate companies making something and companies making the character a different way. You know what I mean? Not I created, but you know what I mean? Like, just we're going to go a different. If the guy that created it is like, here's where I've been going, or here's where I want to go now. Oh, fucking, let's do this.
Right.
Yeah, that's in a roundabout way. That's what I've been trying to say the whole time. Like,
okay,
I hope they do well, and I hope I hope it's a springboard. I hope Henry Cavill is still an option. If you're gonna have another Superman, Henry Cavill could still be. Flashpoint's a long fucking series, and he could run into the past at any time, as proven in the series, where not Jay Gordon, Jay,
Jay Garrett.
Jay Garrett is, if he could show up for one episode, he can show up for 5. The other Flashpoint, the fucking Reverse Flash, Zoom, anybody could show up at any time, and they've created that world fucking beautiful. Nobody's dead. That he just, I gotta bring back this dead guy. Look at fucking Snart. Snart's dead 3 times over, and they still bring him back because they get Earth 12's Snart, Earth 25 Snart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to your point, I mean, Luis, have you seen all of What If or not yet? No.
That's okay.
That was super cool.
Ash,
in the What If, when Ultron was, that was fucking dope.
Yeah, but see, there's a thing. Do you remember in the episode of What If where it's the Doctor Strange one, the first Doctor Strange one, and then they said that Christine's death was an absolute moment that cannot be undone.
Right.
And you see, so now seeing that we saw Tony die in the MCU, that he's died in a few of these What If episodes, I kind of feel that that's Marvel saying that they're not bringing him back. Like, that's it. It's a done deal. He died. That's it. It's over. We're moving past him now. Like, his death is an absolute point in time that cannot be changed. You see what I mean? So I see that, and to your point, I really hope that DC does do well and pulls off this Flashpoint, thing. But I have a feeling that somehow, if a universe doesn't work or a specific timeline doesn't work, they're going to pull that card, that their death was an absolute death and that's it. They're not coming back. This is why we have this new Batman, this new Superman, this new Flash. You know what I mean? Doing something like that, So again, I hope it does well. We'll find out, if we see some sort of trailer coming up this weekend.
Make the universe one, and these other things are graphic, not these Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, where it's a set. This is the story we want to tell. We're good. You can still have your Ben Affleck. You can still have your, you know what I mean? Like, don't.
Yeah.
We want Wonder Woman, but we want Robert Pattinson. We want, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't try to make that shit make sense because one character didn't work. Because you still need to get Blue Beetle. You still need to get fucking Hawkman. You still need to get, like, you're just, like, you're false footing. Like, you're just, there's no fucking grounding.
Right.
And the grounding that you have, you created with these other people. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't need to be. Why not? It doesn't need to be Superman and Batman. Fucking make your pillars Aquaman and Wonder Woman until you build this Batman and you just, it doesn't need to be that. Look at Iron Man. You build the entire Marvel universe on Iron Man, not Captain America, not fucking, you know what I mean? Like, just what the fuck? And now it's bringing in now you're bringing in X-Men, you're bringing in a whole other universe.
Right.
Just,
but this is the thing that you need to understand. For something like that, because of the way that the Marvel universe was created at the time, Iron Man was considered a D-lister superhero.
Right.
So was Captain America. Captain America was considered a D-list superhero. Thor was considered a D-list superhero. The Hulk was considered a C-list superhero. Their A-list superheroes were all sold off. X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, they were all sold off to different companies. So they really had nothing left but to go ahead and go with Iron Man. So yeah, they took a D-listed character in their books and brought him up to becoming A+, to becoming, the best,
household
that can
name.
stand. Yeah,
household fucking name. Ugh.
Absolutely. So that's why with this whole new universe or this whole thing, them trying to unify the universes now, are all the movies making them valid or canon, it does point to big shoes having to be filled, to a lot of work that needs to be done. And how are they going to do certain things, or what are they going to retcon? Now, that's my biggest question, is what are they going to retcon from these movies? What are they going to change in order for it to fit this new DC model that they're trying to do? So
is this all supposed to be one movie?
It's one movie.
That's all they've announced.
One movie.
That's all they've announced so far, but
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do cut it, if like a part 1
Right.
or part 2, but they haven't said anything like that. So far, it's just
Right.
Flashpoint.
If you're gonna do something like that, then yeah, don't be like fucking, hey, Ben Affleck, I'm gonna kill more people. Like, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
See,
that's
but we also don't know these other people that are signed on, like Keaton and Affleck and all that. We don't know how long their scenes are. So do you remember in The Last Jedi, or I'm sorry, Force Awakens, we knew Mark Hamill was in it, and the whole movie we were waiting for Hamill, and we got him for 5 seconds at the very end, and people were disappointed, but it's because our expectations were set. We were already like, oh my god, they're gonna have a conversation, he's gonna meet Han. Like, we had all these thoughts.
I didn't know Hamill was gonna happen.
Hamill?
What?
In Force Awakens.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard in my head. I heard Mandalorian.
No.
Yeah, that was
Force Awakens. Like, and so she sees him at the very end, and we're like, we all wanted to see him do Jedi power shit, like, and he didn't. And so, but that isn't. So we don't know how big these cameos are. For all we know, he flashes in. It's the warehouse scene where Affleck is fucking up all those dudes. He tells them something. He takes off, goes to, like, we don't know. It could be super, super brief, but because internet, it could explode to. It sounds like they are trying to cram a lot in a film, which is scary. But what if they're not? What if it is just a quick little snippet? Like, if you know, and then
he could be running, and then you just see that scene.
Exactly, and for the initiated, like all of us in this room, we would fucking jizz ourselves of like, oh my god, like I know what that means, and like if he says something about like Martha, like her name is Martha, and then like keeps going, like
in the Flash, when you see him running, you see full ass scene, not full scene, but like snippet of scenes,
right? And so if you saw that shit, like, I think that would be fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love for him to spend time in each of those times. Like, I would even love it if he was in the Schumacher era, for even if it was a tiny bit, like, not say that, let's bring back Clooney. Yeah, like, or what if it's like, oh, like, it's like, yeah, like, I just came from over here and their costumes had nipples. What is going on? Like, whatever. Like, this, if it was to have some, like, oh, I would fucking eat that up for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that for DC fandom, for everyone that's listening, DC fandom is supposed to go ahead and it's a free convention that's going to be on Saturday. You can actually, on this Saturday the 16th, it's free. You guys can stream it. You can either go to, I believe it's IGN, or you can go to dcfandom.com and get tickets, quote unquote tickets, to go ahead and get everything. I mean, obviously it's free and everything, and you guys can tune in and watch everything that's supposed to be dropping. With that being said, since Matt Reeves did announce that there was going to be a new Batman trailer, what are you guys expecting from this trailer? Being that we already saw the first teaser, we saw what Pattinson looks like in the bat suit, the motorcycle, the interaction with the thugs and whatnot. Carmen, what are you expecting out of this new trailer that Matt Reeves is supposed to drop?
I don't know what I'm expecting, but I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for the whole project overall, just because I know it's a Batman that we have not yet seen. He's supposed to be in the younger days. So even the teaser trailers that they dropped, where it's like, this is a warning, it's kind of exciting because it still plays on he's supposed to be a darker Batman than we have yet seen. So that was really exciting for me to watch, because it's still like and I guess we've talked about this before when you talk about trailers, right? And whether they disclose a lot that you're going to see in the movie or not. Like, this was just enough of a teaser for the soon to come trailer to still keep me enticed, to like still want more. And, and it's like, oh, that's right, that's coming up. I want to watch it. And I can't wait until the day that we get to discuss that. So, I mean, I'm all in. I will be waiting anxiously for this weekend for whatever that trailer is gonna have.
Right on. Ash?
Same. We saw more, but we saw more of the same, but there was like either longer snippets or I learned my lesson after Ben Affleck. When that was the greatest of days when I heard he was going to be Batman. I accepted it. When I even heard George Clooney, it was kind of like, oh, okay, because I'm putting like my Tim Burton trust in him, even though I didn't know, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna lose all my credibility.
Just do it.
I saw Twilight 1, and because of my nerd factor, I had to finish all of them once. I did them all once. And in that, I'm glad I did, but I'm all set. And I'm not going to select team either guy, nothing. But I had to finish it just to figure out either how this happens or how whatever happens. And in the end, it was just like, what? But
I'm so sorry for you.
That guy had to do those 17 movies to do this, to be respected, to do a movie with fucking Willem Dafoe about a lighthouse, but he had to do those movies. And like James Franco, I'll have to do these movies to be able to fucking do the movies that I want. And I'm not bringing up any fucking other shit that he's been doing on this personal level, but as an artist, sometimes you fucking really have to do Twilight movies until you fucking can do what you want. I don't take him as an emo Batman just because he looks like fucking My Chemical Romance. I can give a fuck. I don't take him as emo. Fucking Batman is a man till his dying day couldn't get over his dying parents. He is emo. He is like, I just don't want to lose another person. And every person he loses, he becomes more controlling. He becomes more. That's why Batcorp, I'm like, fuck you. No, that would never be fucking, you know what I mean? Like, no, he wouldn't handle everything through digital nothing. Like I have to see you. I have to like I'll go out with 8 people, but I'm going to be responsible for 8 motherfucking people. He would never deal with people. And that fucking DC Titans, I'm on a plane. Don't do this, Bruce. But don't handle this, Robin. Don't go handle the Joker. I'm gonna go on vacation. No, Batman would be like, turn this fucking plane around. He's gonna go fucking handle the Joker on his own. So there's little even the Keaton Bruce. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I should be careful. I heard her turn around and hey, Vicky Vale, I'm fucking you know what I mean? Like, there's just little, I don't know, man. It's anytime you talk about Batman, it's like I'm gonna fucking rant. Anytime you talk about anything, I'm gonna rant. But like,
Justice.
That Batman is gonna be really good for what it's going to be, and no matter what you feel about Robert Pattinson, there's a supporting cast. Like Colin Farrell, instead of fucking being Colin Farrell and getting the ladies, he's going as fucking the ugliest. People are being characters, and they're not being. It's not trying to be like, hey ladies, or hey Schumacher. Like it's trying to be very character driven, right, and still be acceptable because like he's still not trying to be like even the Gotham Knights Penguin. He's still trying to be like like the way that Nolan handles like it might not be Joker. Like when I first saw Joker, like, oh, he's all dirty and he's all, oh, this is like the first like silhouette and the first little, I was like, oh, what is this gonna even be? And he ended up being one of the most amazing Jokers in the world. Fucking again a rant, but I'm more interested in the Riddler part of it, and I'm happy that it's not all hat and riddle. It's still riddles, but like the way they're doing it, and we have some go, and we're gonna go. It might not be handled in this movie, but we're going here, and I'm more interested in that little. So it's gonna be awesome.
Right on.
I'm done talking, and I as tired as you guys are, like, I don't know. Don't bring up Batman ever, bro. I have a lot of feelings about Batman.
Well,
You're entitled to those feelings.
Jesus.
Batman's a
Hey,
shame.
me calling, baby. You know I love your mama. Whoever's next, because I know I was only second.
Luis.
It really does look great. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. It took a while to understand that.
Yeah.
Just because this new movie, if it's not, not to say that it doesn't look like it or anything. I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. I'm looking forward to the trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing it. If the movie isn't as good as the previous movies, I still really like the Nolan trilogy. So Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises remain on my top 10 favorite films. Dark Knight Rises still brings me joy. So as long as that, and it is not possible for that to ever go away. So whatever happens in the future happens. I'm looking forward to seeing where this will go and how it, like certain interpretations of it.
Yeah.
So I'm in for the ride.
Very cool. All right, right on. Sorry, Esteban, last thing. And I'm kind of hoping it's kind of like, you remember when Christian Bale, he wasn't Batman yet, but he was just in like a little hoodie and a little whatever, he fails a lot before becoming Batman. I'm kind of hoping that it's that, because you're dealing with the Riddler, who has to Batman, like, oh, he means it's a bird and he's on an airplane 357. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, he has to get to that point. It can't just be like, I know the shit. Like, it's got to be a lot of trial and error. Fucking even dark. I hope it's a lot of trial and error, especially when you're dealing with somebody like a mainstay and
someone psychotic,
world's greatest detective version of Batman.
Yeah. Well, essentially that's what Matt Reeves was going to do in this new iteration of Batman. It's supposed to be more of a detective thriller movie, so So it's not going to be all gadgets and whatnot. It's going to be the detective thriller type movie. So yeah. But going over to some Marvel news, we've got some casting news for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It looks like they've casted Adam Warlock. It's going to be Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. When I first saw him, when they first showed him, the first thing that I thought, I was like, hey, that's real life Sid from Toy Story. That was the very first thing that when I saw him. That's what and then I saw the movie that he was in, or one of the movies that he was in. Which was the one with him and Jason Sudeikis and Jennifer Aniston?
We're the Millers.
Yeah,
phenomenal film.
It was.
Awesome
it was a great film. Yeah, it was.
And his performance in it.
And I think that's why I'm excited, because it's like he's plays that, and then him going to be Adam Warlock. I mean, that shit's going to be actually pretty fucking cool, to me, the way I see it. And James Gunn was real quick about not. He actually shoots down rumors fairly quickly whenever he sees them popping up on Twitter. For this one, he's like, yeah, I really can't, shoot this down. This is actually true. So I'll be seeing him in the next couple weeks when we start shooting for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So that's pretty exciting. I'm excited about that. What does everybody think about this casting news for Adam Warlock?
In James Gunn, we trust. I'm all for whatever his vision is.
Carmen?
I think I agree with Luis, and also going back to what you were saying of him and We Are the Millers. That movie honestly was funny to me, not only because of Jennifer Aniston, but actually the whole cast, but his portrayal of that character that he plays, where like he's genuinely like bounded by the things that are happening to him, and being like, he has a really strong expression with his eyebrows, you know what I mean? So like just that character development that that background that he gave to that character, right? So I can only expect the same for this character, being so major and like being James Gunn, which then we have Guardians to compare to, and like the comedic aspect of it. I don't know whether he's gonna lean on that or not, but I mean, that just sets it up for a great film to come, I think. So I'm excited for it.
Right on. Ash?
Suicide Squad isn't laughed at as it once was because of Suicide Squad 2, because of James Gunn. I will always and forever see the meme of us 2020, God, and it's his face. You guys are still alive. 2021, God, 2021, you guys are still alive. Anyway, that's a bad joke, but it was a meme and it made me laugh. I like that. And it makes like Star-Lord wasn't, help me with the name. Star-Lord in the comic book is not the Marvel version of Star-Lord. Right?
He is now, but before he wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
So Warlock being him means that guy fits the Warlock, Adam Warlock, that they're going to meet.
I can see that. Okay.
I'm good with them. But I have like Adam Warlock or Warlock like 36. It's an old ass fucking comic. And I'm probably not even. Anyway, I have an old Warlock comic that it came with a. It didn't even come with a fucking Marvel movie comic book. It came with a Robin, like Robin 9. So it was one of those like just please. It comes with that. Just please, just like
please take it.
But it was with the comic book store. It wasn't like these come together. It was like one of those like whatever. Anyway, So I have one of those, and I know he's not. But again, it's one of those things that it was leading to because in Guardians, the egg and this and that and whatever. So
Right.
Not the Watcher. What was
The Collector. The Collector.
Collector, and then his shit goes to fucking shit.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. And then Howard the Duck's out, and then so I'm hoping I don't know. It's gonna be great, man. I should have shortened this and just said, "In James Gunn we trust." I just try. I don't know. I think it's gonna be good. All these things happen in my head, and I just want you guys to know.
Appreciate that. A podcast that we don't speak our minds is going to be a very boring, short podcast.
Yeah, well, stop yawning, bitch.
I didn't yawn.
Good night, everybody.
I was drinking my beer.
And also, what we ended up getting also this week was a new Hawkeye trailer. Did you guys end up catching the Hawkeye trailer? Yeah. I'm excited about it. I like the fact that it's only 6 episodes, so it's kind of following the same model as Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's going to be, the 6 episodes about an hour and a half long, something like that, and it looks really exciting. I can't wait to see it. I think Andres is more excited to see what's her name? Her name escapes me.
Oh God.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Doesn't Marvel handle the perfect balance of we don't take shit serious, but at the same time we're taking everything serious?
Absolutely.
Venom 2 or Venom 1, they go all the way here and don't take anything serious. So
right.
These lines that are fucking real and these things really mean something, it doesn't land because something wicked this way comes. Like,
right.
As you're turning into fucking Carnage, like, what are you doing? Like, if he was just either freaking out or turning into fucking Joker's Wild, amazing. But it doesn't work. Everything you did doesn't work. If you were absolutely fucking mental, but the one thing you care about is being terrorized by the one thing that's giving you power, that's the fucking story. It's not fucking, I'm crazy, let me fix my hair. The entire fucking movie. Sorry. But hey, Hawkeye's gonna be awesome.
Haley Steinfeld.
That just pisses me off. It doesn't work. Sony doesn't have it, and they don't know how to make it work. And I would just rather have them give it to Marvel, make it work, and in conjunction with Sony, and just fucking, it doesn't work. None of that shit.
Junction, what's your phone? Sorry.
Hawkeye's going to be amazing. The reason I brought that up, because of all the sarcasm between them as they're fucking fighting bad guys, fits fucking perfect.
Right.
Right? And it's almost like the relationship between Black Widow and you know what I mean? Like fucking the back and forth.
Right.
In the worst of situations, you and I have our back and you guys know how we handle things, so blah, 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 blah. Like, it was good. We had these fucking awesome arrows this entire time. Like, it's so good.
You're so excited, aren't you?
I am, because it's like they handle it so good. It's not,
of course. In Marvel, we trust.
Yeah, just sometimes it's not about the imagery; it's about the relationship. You're showing the relationship in the trailers, not the look how badass this looks.
Right.
It fucking doesn't work because you're showing all the good stuff in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, Disney has taken us this far, and I don't think Disney can do any wrong at this point, aside paying their actors properly and their script writers and
Agatha's getting a spin-off. That's how good they have it. You know what I mean? Like,
no, yeah, it already has a spin-off. It already has a spin-off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, you're right. And that's the thing. You know, so in Disney we trust. You know, and speaking of Disney, the Mandalorian.
Disney knows to say like Marvel, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Marvel, take the wheel. Like, hey, we just want our name on it. Like, we're good. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
All that.
So angry. Why are you so angry?
I'm not angry. I'm passionate. Like, I'm honestly. This is okay. The whole week goes by and you're nerding out to people, and like we are us. So this is my chance to nerd out in front of nerds, and then it becomes like now I'm over nerding. But
no, I know the feeling. Me and Carmen were actually talking about that before you jumped on.
So yeah, I'm over nerding.
Makes sense. No, you're good.
You're fine. I think you overthink your nerdiness.
Yeah. Don't doubt yourself. You are among friends.
Stop yawning.
He's not yawning. He's gonna knife you.
I'm gonna knife you. You use the older word than I. Anyway,
all of a sudden, Luis is gonna be all, I'll take pleasure in gutting you, boy.
I never call him boy.
I ran over that racist joke, but
it's not a racist joke. It came out in the movie The Rock.
The boy joke.
I know. Well, speaking of Disney, and in Disney we trust, The Mandalorian has season 3 just started filming. I know we're extremely excited about that. We are going to get a taste of The Mandalorian. Stop it. This December. With the Book of Boba Fett. So meaning that, if that serves correctly, you probably won't see The Mandalorian season 3 till probably the holiday season next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
So that's going to suck. So hopefully the Book of Boba Fett keeps our taste buds locked in and waiting for The Mandalorian. Yeah.
Taste buds.
I don't know.
that delicious Mando. He's a good
delicious Mando indeed.
What's his name?
Delicious
Pascal?
Mando indeed.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal.
Very attractive man.
Hey, did you guys know that James Gunn pitched a cannibal Gilligan's Island movie?
Yeah. Saw that.
I did not. No.
Cannibal Island?
Well, it'd be Gilligan's. I'm sure it'd still be called Gilligan's Island, but they'd be cannibals. Who'd go first?
I think Skipper would survive, but
no, Skipper is the fattest. He'd die first.
See that, but that was my thought process. I'm like, if it's cannibals, they would want to eat him because of the meat. But I also feel he's the most central character.
Uh-huh.
Like he's the character that the viewer identifies with his personality. He points out the obvious, like while the viewer is like recognizing weird things, and so he says.
The only Skipper we have is Gilligan doing something stupid and fucking the Skipper going for 25 minutes. So no, Skipper dies, and it's the professor. It'd be all shank, motherfucker.
And that's what I was gonna say. I think the professor would be the last man standing.
Yeah, like diabolical. Like he would have fucking Ginger.
Yeah.
All this shit.
You think it'd be Ginger?
Well, Ginger gets him in the room and then fucking phone check, homie. Yep. That thing's smart.
Just like that.
Yep.
But I think
that's what the professor yells out. Like,
oh my God,
that's what he yells out.
1953. Phone check, homie. Sorry.
Phone check, homie.
Oh fuck, my bad.
1953. Phone check, homie.
What's a homie?
What's a phone?
Because I see it'd be. I think Mr. Howell would go first, and then it'd be the Skipper. but I think it would come down to the Professor and Marianne. I think Marianne was way smarter than Ginger.
If Mr. Howell is played by fucking Lieutenant Dan, help me with that name.
Gary Sinise.
Yeah, depends on your casting. That guy's not going to go in first.
No, I know for sure. But I see Gary Sinise playing the Professor. I think Gary Sinise would play a very diabolical professor.
Yeah.
I think I would see I think Henry Winkle would be a good Mr. Howell.
Oh, he died real quick.
That's what I mean.
Skipper played by Seth Rogen.
Then he would die even faster.
Yeah. Skipper could be Seth Rogen, and Gilligan. I mean,
Franco.
No. I would give Gilligan.
Seth Rogen laugh.
I would give Gilligan to Matthew Lillard.
Damn, that's a comeback.
Yeah,
that'd be a great comeback
from Scream.
Yeah,
because I mean, when he with the faces that we would make and shit in the movie. But the best fucking line in that movie is when Sydney gets the phone and then he goes, "Hey, did you really call the cops?" She goes, "You bet your fucking ass." Oh man, my mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me.
There's a mashup that I have where he goes, "You hit me with the phone, dick."
Speaking of Scream, did you guys see the new trailer for Scream 5?
You see that? See how that worked?
Yes,
I did. I like about it, since I'll go first, since I haven't gone first yet, other than Batman, I liked about it.
Excuse me, sir.
I will pull the fucking reins,
Roman,
on myself. I like about it because it kind of feels like they're creating the new Michael and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
It feels like they're building that for the next generation.
The Force Awakens vibes.
We've dealt with this and blah, blah, blah. And like, this is how you got to do with this. And what's cool is they're dealing with it as a trilogy, like the three people, like in the trailer, it's Dewey, who is not taken seriously. That's kind of a more serious character. Now saying the rules of the scary movie. What's called her Monica? Courtney Cox. Cool, whatever. And I love her from Friends, but I like it. But it's not the dynamic that we had where all she cared about was a story. And now, as a part 2, since she did what she did in part 2, she's now a part of the story, but like, you now have to make all these three people the Jamie Lee Curtis. That's kind of harder to do. You know what I mean? Now all of us have to survive in this.
Right.
Which sooner or later it's going to be weird where we have to carry because one of them is going to be gone sooner or later, etc. But I don't know. It actually made me interested in watching the scary movie, and and it's not scary to anybody else in this room, but it really made me like. When you guys are talking about like, oh, you guys down to see fucking Faces of Death 9? Like, I'm all set. But like,
that's the thing, is that you're comparing every single scary movie to Faces of Death, and I know that was like a very traumatic experience for you seeing Faces of Death. But not all the horror movies are Faces of Death.
Faces of Death. I saw Mary Poppins Part 2. It's Faces of Death.
That's what I mean. I don't know, man.
But it looked good and I like it.
Carmen, what did you think?
They're building that clout the same way Jamie Lee Curtis has the clout. Like, even now, in this new Michael Myers, like,
right.
I know how to handle it with my granddaughter. Like they're trying to make Nev Campbell the new Jamie Lee Curtis. It feels like.
I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, if you really think about it, the last time there was a slasher movie that was done right was Scream. And then prior to that was, I mean, you would compare it to what, Halloween, wouldn't you?
No, I agree. No, that's why I'm about it. I can handle Halloweens. I even the fucking Rom Zombie. I'm just saying,
right?
The new stuff, like fucking Emily Rose breaking her fucking ankle while being possessed. I'm all set.
Okay, that's where we draw the line. Got it. Okay.
I think so. I think that's where we draw the line.
I will be honest, I didn't catch the trailer for Scream, but I like all the Scream franchises, so I don't see why I wouldn't like the movie. But it's a great slasher movie. I recently watched the first Scream because I had forgotten a lot of what happened, and it was just in the background. And then I was glued to the screen because I was like, oh shit, I don't remember that happening, or like I don't remember that. So it was a nice throwback. So if this is gonna take me right back to wanting to keep watching all of them, and like, I don't know, it takes me back to my younger days, not that I'm old or anything, or that we are old. But it's a nice throwback for us, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
Luis, I wanted to ask you, because I know you follow the Halloween lore.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the 1978 one, classic, obviously. The 2007 one, the Rob Zombie one. Okay, so was that one supposed to pick up like after the 1978 one, or is that supposed to be like a completely different like reboot, remake, that bullshit?
That was supposed to be a reboot.
So that was supposed to be a reboot. So that one, and then Halloween 2, obviously it lives in its own quote unquote timeline, right?
Also true.
Okay. So the 1978 one, and then the one that came in 2018, the Halloween that came out in 2018 with Jamie Lee Curtis, that's supposed to be a direct sequel to the 78 one, correct?
It's a direct sequel to the 78 one, and it lives in its own universe, assuming that all the other ones after the original never happened.
I see.
So
okay.
it only identifies the first and original film ever happening.
And that's weird because even I'm gonna butcher her name. I know it's Danielle.
The
circus one, like she's her own scream queen from the series, like from that series on, even up to Urban Legends, I think it's called. Like she's just butchering her name. I'll look it up. But Danielle is like a big name in the horror universe. Nobody. Fucking this motherfucker keeps going to sleep. I'm gonna call him out every single time. I'll look it up. I'll look up.
Luis doesn't have the answer that one time, and it's all of a sudden like
I know, and
this motherfucker. Does he even care about this podcast? Like I don't know, dude. I'm sorry.
Please stop yelling at me.
I'll look it up.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Anything else?
No, if I say her, once I look up her name, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, her. No. Bow down.
Thank you.
Whoosh.
All right.
Mush is the word. Mush.
All right, and then gonna go ahead and close out the episode with the trailer to The Black Phone. Did anybody see the trailer to that one? No?
Not over here.
No.
Ash, you saw the trailer to The Black Phone?
Did.
Nice. All right, so paint you a picture for The Black Phone. It looks like a suspense movie, but it has some horror elements in it, okay? You've got Ethan Hawke playing the villain, which fucking dude. The last time I think I saw him in a horror movie was Sinister, and Sinister was fucking amazing.
The first Sinister. Second one was a piece of shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you.
Okay, so it looks like the movie takes place in like the late 60s, early 70s, based off of the wardrobe that the kids are wearing. Okay, so there is a kidnapper on the loose, and this kidnapper's treated like an urban legend. Okay, like don't say, I forget his name. Don't say his name,
Candyman,
because, huh?
like Candyman. Don't say his name.
Very, very, very much like Candyman. Yes,
Yep.
yes. So, but it's more of a, if you say his name, you won't get caught by him, you know? So it's kind of like one of those things, like by you saying his name, you're manifesting him to not catch you because you know he's real by saying his name. You know what I mean? So it's something like that. So anyways, this kid plays the game, or not plays the game, but kind of says the name, and his friend tells him, well, don't say that, you know, because or else he's gonna catch you, balls and that. Sure enough, you cut to him walking home from school, and there's this black van, and I don't remember what it says on the side of the van. And at first, I didn't know it was Ethan Hawke. I swear to God, I didn't know it was Ethan Hawke. It was creepy as fuck, because when they first show him, you don't see his face. He's wearing sunglasses, his face is painted white, you know, and he's acting like a clown. He's like, oh, like he dropped this stuff. He goes, oh my God, you know, what the hell? So the kid's like gonna ignore him and walk away. And he says, oh, do you need some help? And he goes, well, do you want to see a magic trick? And then it just fucking flips. The trailer gets flipped on its ear and goes down a very dark path. Ethan Hawke, like now, like I legit want to see him be the Joker, because of the way that he plays this character. He paints his face white, and he wears a mask that is right above his nose, and it comes down here, and it looks like a demon mask. Like just from the nose down, it's a demon mask. And what ends up happening is the little girl, who's friends with the little boy that got captured or kidnapped. I know I'm all over the place. She's starting to have visions of certain things, of where the house is at, where the kid's being kept, and this and that. And this is all in the trailer, so I'm not really spoiling anything. But what's happened is it kind of hints to like this kidnapper has done this before and has captured multiple kids before, and essentially has murdered the kids, you know, and killed them and stuff like that. So there's a phone in the room that the kid's being held hostage, and the phone's not connected at all. So there's at one point where the phone actually rings, and the kid picks it up, and he starts to hear the voices of all the little kids that were kidnapped and killed and tortured or whatever. And what they're trying to do is they're actually trying to get him to escape. And it's like it's borderline psychological thriller, suspense, horror. You guys seriously need to check out that trailer, because that's a film that I think can go very, very far and scare the living shit out of people, because it is done by Blumhouse.
Oh. Now, okay, I remember the image that was on the group chat, and it was very haunting because, as you said, you described the mask, and I automatically knew what you were talking about, and now I'm intrigued. Okay, I'll go watch the trailer.
So,
as should our listener.
Yes.
Let us know.
Agreed. So I think that's going to be the next. At least that's how I feel. I feel seeing the trailer, it's going to be like the next It horror movie, not It the movie, but like the next big horror movie, you know, that's going to be coming out, because the psychological thriller part of it, along with the supernatural aspects to it. I mean, fucking A, dude. Like it is creepy. The trailer itself is creepy as fuck. And there's not many. I mean, you've seen trailers, horror movie trailers, and you're just kind of like, okay, you know, horror movie. I know what I'm getting myself into. This one, though, at least to me, was like painted fucking horrifying. You know, just the imagination. You know.
Yeah.
So, I think that's something that I think I would be fucking down for a comics outing for that one. Depending if it's going to be a streaming or if it's going to be in theaters. I know Ash, you're going to go, right?
4 Locos and then the movie. Let's do it.
Ooh.
You know what?
You know what?
some
Watch your
shit's some shit's gonna happen. I don't know if that's good.
It's not.
I don't think so.
No, not at all. Ash, what did you think about the trailer?
I've been Ethan Hawke fan since Reality Bites, and I've never looked back. I've seen movies that he's what I said about Robert Pattinson. Like, it's not a comeback. It's just he's been in a bunch of different fucking movies we've never heard of because they're not they're probably straight to DVD movies. Other than Training Day is I think the last big movie, and they're still only hype up Denzel, but the movie was like how he's handling Denzel. You know what I mean? I agree with you in the Joker thing, but I agree with you because he's an actor's actor. He would have done the Joaquin Phoenix thing.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know what I mean? Like it would have been, we would have gotten what we would have gotten out of Joaquin Phoenix, out of him, probably minus the negative 75 pounds, but it still would have happened. I like that we're seeing him out of character. So there's this black phone that doesn't work, and that's the one thing that's this kid's savior. Like, oh, I'm locked in this room, and he tries for the black phone for a little bit, and he's like, it's not gonna work. But the way they shoot it is, it's him trying for the phone, and it's not gonna work. You hear his voice, and then all of a sudden it's behind him, and he's like, if you try to do any, it's a he or she. I couldn't tell.
It's a he.
It's a he.
Yeah, it's a he.
Do anything, I'm gonna scratch you in the face. I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna scratch. And he's like, this face, and it is a mask over his face.
Yeah,
it is demon-like. That was cool, and it was. There's these flyers of all these kids that are missing, that are clearly, and it's their names you can't say.
It's their names. I thought it was the
flyer. And once he says this last name, if you notice, the last flyer falls off.
Yeah.
It's their names you can't say, the names of the victims. He becomes one of the victims in how Esteban said with the black. But it's that. Have you seen my puppy? Have you? I'm looking for my dog. Get in my car and help me find it. It's that kind of scenario. Right. And then it scramble. Do you want to see a magic trick? But it just turned on, and all he did was he turned to look behind him to see if anybody was behind him, and then
it cuts to a different scene.
Like totally different guy. Would you like to see a magic trick? Fade out. So he wakes up in this room, and there's only one single black phone, and he goes to make it work, and hence everything I said. Within this, all these former victims are contacting him through this phone. The person, the kid, the victim in the room was walking with prior is getting these visions or these nightmares of where the kid is. Now I see a fence. Now I see the homies in. Now I see black balloons. Now I see all these little things that are leading back to, which is kind of why I feel it's not super. What's the word I want to use? Supernatural.
Natural.
Like maybe it's like a meant to find.
Shining.
Like something. I don't know. When I say supernatural, like maybe it's supposed to be like like a.
Right.
I saw more of like the ransom on crack, but even Stranger Things. But it really, this is one of those where when people say it's suspenseful, I would believe, not like, hey, go see fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a suspense film. Like it's not. No fucking. So anyway, it's good. And on top of that, these victims are preparing him all these victims have dealt with different versions of what happened to them that are preparing him. Like, okay, you're gonna go for the door, but he's gonna do this. You're gonna fucking here's the combination.
It's
they all failed, and they're all helping him.
Yeah, it's no. You're right. And essentially, it's like this. It's a trial and error type thing with every victim that has, died. It's like, oh, I did this and this and this, or there's a padlock on the door. Well, what's the combination? Oh, I carved it into the wall, behind you or whatever.
Fucking, let's call it ghost. The ghost shadow boxing with him. That was fucking like, oh, dude, it gets me so interested in the story that that's what got me to not The Conjuring. I always get it convinced it's not The Conjuring. It's the other one.
Insidious.
I got so involved in Insidious, like, fuck it, that person died. Like, I'm just involved in the story that it's so good that, like, whatever. But when the story is like like, no, fuck it, I'm out. Like if I'm hooked, I'm done.
Right.
If I get into not House of Cards. What's this show you guys are watching?
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass.
If I get hooked in the first couple episodes, I'm fucked.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get hooked. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. You
will get hooked. So
on that note, text at 2:00 in the morning.
That's fine.
That there's an angel. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, we did know. Good night, Ash.
Yeah. It doesn't happen on the show. It won't happen in text.
That's true. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for episode 54 of Comics. Once again, I am your host covering for Andres. We again wish him very, very happy nuptials this coming weekend.
Hey.
Yeah.
We do a show every week, and we weren't invited to his bachelor party. I'm not trying to see naked.
Maybe that just throw him one of our own.
This is true.
Comics bachelor party.
With, as Luis says, with 4 locals involved.
As Luis says, like that's my fucking Sigma. Like,
it is.
We know Luis and his 4 locos, that crazy loco bitch.
So I want to go ahead and thank everybody for tuning in, for listening, everybody that's commented. Please keep commenting. Please keep sharing our videos. Subscribe, like the videos, share our videos. Leave us comments. We will read them on the next episode. We appreciate all of you. And with that, comics.
We are everywhere.
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 Good night, everybody.
Good night.